Hey, welcome in. Good morning
Good
to
morning.
you.
That's right.
Thursday.
You were so close to saying
So
Friday.
close. I was.
Not
It's
quite.
your Friday, though,
It
right?
is my Friday,
Oh,
yep. Getting
lucky
ready for the
you.
weekend.
All right, well, hey, welcome in. I'm Ryan Dean.
And I'm Cindy Stallworth, and we have a lot to get to this morning. Now, we're starting with a story that you're following, Ryan, and this one is really dividing the state.
Yeah, seriously. More specifically, the mask controversy. It's now pitting parents against schools, administrators.
Yeah.
The Missouri Attorney General is asking parents to report districts with mask mandates and other COVID rules. Here's what you need to know. This is the latest alert Missouri Attorney General put on his social media pages. It starts with attention parents and then has a call to action for parents to submit videos and photos of any district still requiring masks. The AG says he is standing up for parents who are frustrated with mandates and feel like they've been shut out, and he insists this is not a political stunt on his part, even though he is running for the U.S. Senate. One of the cease and desist letters went to the Rockwood School District after a parent reported them. A spokesperson for the district says attorneys will be responding.
Right.
This is going to just be a story that keeps on developing. The AG, Eric Schmidt, said that since he put out that call for parents to contact them, more than 1,000 emails to his office.
1,000.
Yeah.
And I believe it.
And so then you have Education Plus, which helps a lot of districts in the area with COVID protocols and other educational needs. We talked to the CEO there yesterday. He says that a lot of school boards, they're going to decide to still have their mandates because they believe that they can. They can do that aside from what the lawsuit. I guess it's a court case out of Cole County.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what came down, and that's what's causing all this confusion. That where all these mandates are illegal according to the Attorney General. So yeah, much more. We're going to follow this out today, I'm sure. But let us know your thoughts. I know it's a hot sounding topic.
Absolutely. And I'm sure these districts are going to have all their attorneys looking into this. I'm sure a lot of lawyers are going to be really in the books when it comes to this one. And they're concerned too. I think you mentioned this morning about them being concerned about parents being the ones to have to report this, you know what I mean? And take video and things like that. And there's a lot that goes into it.
The concern is it's going to create even more of a divide right now and more tension between parents and administrators.
Right.
There's already been so much tension in some school districts when it comes to all the COVID protocols,
Masking,
and this is just going to
stuff.
keep it going. Now, I will say, when you look at social media, there are also parents who are applauding the Attorney General for doing this. They agree that they don't want their kids being forced to wear masks. So it's not like it's just people who don't want it. I mean, there's definitely two sides to the story for sure.
Yeah,
to this
very
controversy.
split. Very split. All right. Well, this mask controversy comes as we're learning more about the Omicron variant. Here's a map of the number of states with confirmed Omicron cases, and that number just keeps on ticking up. It's now at 22, but we do have some good news about the variant. Now, Pfizer says its booster is effective against the variant. According to its own research, Pfizer's first 2 vaccine doses do not hold up well against Omicron, but the third shot provides 25 times the protection against it. The bottom line, well, as the virus mutates, the booster may be the shot that keeps you from contracting COVID and staying out of the ER, which is good news. Now, so far, only one case of the Omicron variant has been detected in the St. Louis region. Now, doctors say the Delta variant is behind the recent rise in area hospitalizations that we've been seeing. Moderna and Johnson & Johnson are expected to release their vaccines lab results for the Omicron in just a few days. So we'll keep an eye out for that.
We have some sad news from the St. Louis Zoo. It's trending right now on our website. A tiger named Waldmere and a southern rockhopper penguin named Enrique have died. Waldmere recently contracted COVID. Malignant cancer cells were also found in many of his internal organs. Now, Enrique went viral last year after he got a pair of therapeutic support boots for his arthritis. Both animals, we're told, were in their golden years and surpassed their given life expectancies.
Well, hearts are heavy in St. Louis County today, and especially the hearts of our law enforcement officers. The community saying goodbye and paying respects to a fallen officer and veteran. The visitation for St. Louis County Detective Antonio Valentine is happening tonight. His visitation is from 5 to 8 tonight at Lane Renaissance Chapel on West Florissant. And tomorrow at 9 a.m., Detective Valentine's Celebration of Life Mass is going to be at the Cathedral Basilica of St. Louis. Now, Now, he was an Army combat veteran and recently retired from the Air Force Reserve. So after Friday's service, he'll be buried at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery with military honors. A little bit about Detective Valentine. He was 42 years old when he died last Wednesday after a head-on crash involving a stolen car in North County. Police said the stolen car was speeding away from drug detectives who tried to pull it over. Valentine was driving an unmarked police car toward the area when that stolen car crossed into oncoming traffic. Valentine had been with the St. Louis County Police Department since 2007. The community has honored him in a number of ways this week with a public memorial tribute on his old squad car, a candlelight vigil at Beaumont High School and his alma mater, and on Tuesday, the St. Louis County Council actually passed a resolution in his honor. So there's been a lot of outpour of support in honoring him and his family especially. Now, he does leave behind 4 kids, Ryan, and Backstoppers actually gave that family $10,000,
Really?
but there are still a lot of ways that people can help if they're interested. They can go to our website for that.
Yeah, this is really tough, obviously, for the men and women in blue. You think about they just had to bury one of their own in the Metro East.
That's right.
I think it was last month. Was that visitation and funeral for the officer killed, the Pontoon Beach officer killed.
That's
so now
right.
there's going to be another funeral tomorrow. Of course, we'll have complete coverage of this as well.
Absolutely.
This funeral services today and tomorrow. Complete coverage on air on KSDK.com and on the 5 on Your Side app, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so Ameren, Missouri will meet with state regulators this morning in Jeff City to request raising your rates. The new rates could take effect at the end of February. If the rates are approved, Ameren says the average electric customer could pay about $80 more a month, while the average natural gas customer would pay about $169 more a month. Ameren says the increases are needed to pay for recent upgrades. Ameren wanted higher increases, but through months of negotiations with consumer advocacy groups, it settled on the current proposal. Just last week, Spire increased its rates by about $14 a month per household. Now, it is important to point out that this has to be approved.
Right.
It has to go through the state regulatory process. It's been going that way for since March of last year. Ameren does also says that when you compare their rates to national averages, they are still way cheaper, about 20%.
Okay.
And they said there is help. If you are struggling to pay your bills, there is more help than ever. That's according to them.
Because of the pandemic.
Yeah, so there's federal dollars. You just have to reach out to them. And also, that I will say, Heat Up St. Louis, which does great work in this area, they agree with that sentiment that there's more help than ever. But one thing they keep stressing, don't wait until you're in a bind.
Yes.
If you
we said
see
ahead
it
of
coming,
time. Yeah.
make sure you start the process, contact Ameren, contact Spire, contact Heat Up St. Louis, get that ball started.
Yeah, they'll be a lot more flexible that
Yes,
way. But
yes.
nobody wants to hear, like you said, this has to be approved, but nobody
Yeah.
wants to hear that they're going to be spending more money.
I
People
know.
don't like that. Here's another story that impacts your monthly budget. Starting in January, using alternative fuel vehicles will cost a little bit more in fees. Now, Missouri is raising the registration fee 20% each year for the next 5 years, and that includes electric vehicles. It's part of the same legislation that raised the price of gas by 12.5 cents per gallon. AAA says it's all about paying your fair share to help with road improvements. Now, Illinois charges $251 to register an electric vehicle, and that is about $100 more than the average. Yeah, not good news there.
No. Okay, so Missouri educators are getting a boost in pay. A new bill was just pre-filed to raise the base pay for teachers from $25,000 to $35,000. If approved, it would take effect in the fall of 2024. Right now, Missouri's $25,000 base pay ranks 49th in the country. Governor Mike Parsons spoke about the possibility of this happening and says, I believe the state needs to do a better job to take care of state employees, and I believe we can do it.
Well, starting January 1st, Missouri's minimum wage is going up to $11.15 an hour. It's all part of Proposition B, approved by voters back in 2018, which raised the minimum wage to $8.60, and then in 2019, then mandated an 85-cent increase each year through 2023. So all private businesses are going to be required to pay that minimum wage, with just a few exceptions.
All right, for the second day in a row, a story out of western Missouri near Kansas City is the top story on our website. The small town of Orick, Missouri had its entire police force walk off the job. That includes the chief. Town officials say the officers resigned without notice and for no reason. In the meantime, Orick contracted the sheriff's office in Ray County, where it is located, to provide coverage 40 hours a week. The town says it plans to restructure its police department and will work with other law enforcement agencies to find new officers in January. There are currently no job postings.
Yeah, people have been reading about this story like crazy because it's almost unbelievable.
I know.
Yeah.
That is kind of crazy to think. One thing I haven't read is how many officers they actually had total, but
Yeah.
and we'll have to see what it is. But I know that in a lot of small towns, some big politics.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
and I'm
That's
sure
right.
this probably had something to do with it. Again, I don't know the cause, but you know, I've covered a fair share of small town controversies when it comes to police departments and feeling like they're getting support. And I wonder if that's the case here.
All right, well, we'll see how that
Yeah.
unfolds. Okay, well, the Lou is a fun place to live. And if you don't believe me, just ask Wallet Hub. The finance website ranked St. Louis the 20th most fun city in America. The ranking is based on things like number of attractions, festivals, and average beer price. Okay, there's something there. 182 cities were included in this ranking. Now, Vegas took the top spot. I don't know if you're surprised by that, Ryan. Followed by Orlando and Atlanta. Pearl City, Hawaii came in very last. And in terms of individual categories, the Lou ranked 10th in restaurants per capita and 8th in bar accessibility.
I don't know about these lists.
I know. We've been covering a lot of rankings
'Cause
and things like that lately.
We're near the most sinful, according to a recent list. Sometimes we're the most dangerous. Sometimes we're the most family friendly.
We have
Sometimes we're the most
jealousy ranking
fun.
high,
We're jealous.
jealousy, anger.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if it is most sinful, you got Las Vegas, they're Sin City. We're supposed to be the second Sin City. And we're kind of up there in the top 10 with them too for most fun. So
But
I
then
don't
we
know how that
score
works.
very high when it comes to family environment.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
We don't know.
Anyway, hey, we got you covered because we know that some cold nights are ahead, and St. Louis residents can get some free firewood. The City of St. Louis Department of Parks, Recreation, and Forestry is now offering free firewood, but you must live in the city. You can stop by Forest Park, Carondelet Park, or O'Fallon Park to pick up. Wood is usually dropped off Wednesday afternoons. It will be available through March. The wood comes from dead or structurally damaged trees removed from streets and parks.
That's good. Never throw anything to waste. So that's always good.
Yeah.
I
with-
could have used a fire this morning.
Yeah, with the rising cost of all the utilities we're talking about, I think
know.
to have some free firewood
Exactly.
is
We might have
wonderful
to
news.
revert back to the olden days and start a fire in my apartment.
There you
Let's
go.
not do that. All right. Speaking of how chilly it was this
Uh-huh.
morning, though, let's check in with Anthony to see how the weather's looking.
Hey there, thanks for joining us. Local weather time. A nice day on the way after this cold start. Numbers today will get back into the 60s, but it will be breezy as a cold front gets ready to move into our area. That cold front arrives tomorrow evening, so it'll still be warm tomorrow afternoon, but tomorrow night, thunderstorms erupt along that front. So tomorrow night, just heads up, there is a risk for some strong, possibly severe thunderstorms south and east of St. Louis. Today's not bad, breezy, sunshine, temperatures in the mid-60s this afternoon.
All right, well, our countdown continues to Christmas. Ryan, I don't know if you're ready. I know I am. We're getting pretty close. And
We are.
'tis the season for pictures with Santa. And some of you shared yours with us on Facebook.
Yeah, check out this one shared by
Oh.
Adam Huntley. This is a little tradition for these brothers, 16 years running. I get a good look at that.
16 feet. Oh, look at that.
They take the picture in Forest Park. No Photoshop needed. Okay, that's
They look
pretty
like they're
cool.
having a blast.
Yes.
All right, now this special picture was shared by Carol Day Clements. That's her granddaughter. And little did she know, but she was sitting on the lap of her great grandfather. Surprise, surprise. Now this was taken 17 years ago, but Carol says the World War II vet is still with us, and he is now 95 years old.
And a Santa helper. Love
Yes.
it. Santa's an intimidating guy, right? So no surprise, you always get a few kids terrified. This picture from 2014, this is wonderful.
Oh, my
But
goodness.
Karen Aversa says it will be always her favorite. So it looks like obviously the little one is really crying.
Not
and so
too
the
happy
other
about that one.
siblings played along. That's really great.
Too cute. And finally, this picture from Michelle Mondello cracks me up. Sometimes those Santa photos don't go quite as planned. Now, thanks to Dad, or we assume it's Dad at least, for making sure all of the kids got in this picture at all costs. No matter what it takes, he's going to get all those babies in there. And look at that.
I love Santa's face.
So resistant.
And I love the little girl's face on the lap. She's like, what? Let's go here.
She's so calm.
Come on.
She's like, come on, let's take the picture. And he said, all right, I'm going to dip you in front of the camera. We're going to get it done and send it out. I hope they sent that out to family and friends.
I'm sure they did, yes.
I'm sure they probably have the best picture of the year, for sure. All right, well, if you have more, share them with us. 'Cause
Yes.
we want to see them too. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Have a wonderful Thursday, and we will see you on Friday.
See ya.